Njyewe Ngabitsinze Jean Chrysostome
njyewe Nshuti Manase
ndahiriye u Rwanda ku mugaragaro.
ndahiriye u Rwanda ku mugaragaro.
Two of those sworn in are cabinet members. Professor Shuti Manasseh, who is the Minister of State in the Ministry of Foreign Affairs and International Cooperation, and Professor Jean Chrysostome Ngabitsinze, the Minister of State in the Ministry of Agriculture and Animal Resources. The others are Richard Muhumuza, a judge in the Supreme Court, Agnes Nyirabaruta Murorunkwere, the Vice President of the Appeals Court, and two judges in that court, Emmanuel Kamere and Geraldine Mugwaneza. There was also Deogracias Minani Bizimana, a parliamentarian, and Abbas Mukama, the Deputy Ombudsman in charge of fighting corruption and other crimes related to it. The swearing-in ceremony was held at Village Rugwiro and COVID-19 preventive measures were respected. President Paul Kagame thanked the officials for accepting the responsibilities they have been given and reminded them that all officials are accountable. You cannot spend 5, 10, or 20 years as an official charged with responsibilities you yourself accepted to undertake through an oath, and we all agreed that we all are supposed to respect the law and fulfill our responsibilities, only for people to be surprised when a person is held accountable. The individual in question is usually just as surprised as everybody else, and yet we all gathered and swore to do our responsibilities. Accountability is a culture that must be upheld. There is nothing else we can do about that because we cannot contradict the very things we vow to do. The head of state also spoke on the continued fight against the COVID-19 coronavirus pandemic and noted that for Rwanda, being a landlocked country has only made things even more difficult, thanking everyone, however, for their efforts to defeat the pandemic. He commented on the last-minute decision by the government on Sunday to postpone the resumption of travel between the provinces and Kigali city, as well as the operations of taxi motorcyclists. Even though it looked like we had properly analyzed the problem, we realized that other factors must also be considered when it comes to such travels, especially when it comes to travel beyond Rwanda's borders. And it requires that we first re-examine the matter and agree on how to proceed, lest it flares up the problem again, and it looked like we were handling the situation well when it comes to ending it. We ask those who are slightly affected to bear with us. Anything we are trying to do, all institutions in our country, is so that we can deal with these unusual times, with this pandemic, but also trying to return to the normal life we are all accustomed to. The leader also urged people to keep their heads up and look to the future confidently. People who have spent time restricted in so many ways, expecting to be allowed to return to their regular activities only to be told to wait some more on the eve of that date, may not react very well to such an announcement. However, considering the situation we now find ourselves, we all must be patient and do what needs to be done, so that, if anything, we can come out of this faster. Tomorrow, on the 2nd, we will hold a meeting with the government to analyze things, starting with the things we looked at the last time in our last meeting, and see how the situation is. A lot can change in 2 days, and if people are holding their breath, then let them hold it for 2 more days, because after that, they will sigh in relief. The 8 officials who were sworn in on Monday are serving in the 3 branches of the country's leadership: legislative, executive, and judicial.